Okay, so USA Today did a story a few hours ago, and in that story, they talked about how the fact that Beyonce did not show up to the to the DNC is uniting people on both sides. And here's why they're saying that. They're saying that because basically people on both sides feel like this was a rumored ploy that was done just to get people to pay attention to Kamala's speech, because what we had thought, there were rumors online circulating that either that either Beyonce or Taylor Swift would be doing something for Kamala's campaign. So people just assumed it was DNC related. And then the day of the DNC, TMZ broke the story that Beyonce was supposed to be there, that Chicago PD was on high alert because they were part of her security plan. And in that same story, they also told us that Steph Curry was going to be endorsing Kamala at the DNC.
That happened.
Exactly.
He
So
did.
one of two things happened. Steph Curry happened and Beyonce did not. Right before, or it might have even been at the same time that story went out, the Emmy Ruiz, who is the White House political director for Biden, she tweeted out a beehive. I saw that on my timeline myself, so I was like, "Oh, this is real."
Yeah, the beehive emoji.
Yeah, the bee.
Oh, the bee. Okay.
Yeah, the bee.
Beehive emoji.
He's like, wait, I didn't get invited today. And then after that, she had to come back out. After the story got debunked, she had to come back out and be like, "Sorry, y'all, my 6-year-old took my phone." I don't know. So you asked me earlier.
I want to know, Lauren, because you were the senior news producer at TMZ.
Yeah, one of few.
What does that entail mean, that you were behind every salacious headline?
Salacious headline is crazy. We are journalists.
Okay.
I was behind every factual story that
Factual
led
story. There
pop
you go.
culture for the last 8 years.
Talk that talk, Lauren.
So with that said, how does TMZ get this so wrong?
So when I first read the story, I thought, maybe they had talked to some law enforcement sources because they had the line in there about Chicago PD being heavily involved in her security. And maybe security or Chicago PD was just put on alert because of the rumor of it potentially happening. They have to prepare because that's a big thing, right? But then when I remembered the Steph Curry part, I'm like, how did they know one thing and not the other? I think, in my opinion, after reading this, after seeing Beyonce's publicist's response where she posted the photo from home and said, stop believing rumors or reporting rumors or whatever, but then you have this Biden White House political director tweeting out a B, knowing what that will imply, I think that the story was actually correct. And I'm going with the theory that a lot of people are throwing out there now, that because this was broken, the story was broken, leaked before Beyonce actually showed up, now she's not going to do it because her security is compromised potentially. There's a lot that goes into play when you bring a Beyonce into a, a situation like the DNC, especially after Trump was recently shot, and just you don't know where people's minds are.
Well, Oprah's story got leaked. Oprah wasn't on the bill, and that was a surprise. But then that got leaked a few hours earlier that she was going to be there. She still showed up.
I think it's a little different with Beyonce. No shade to Oprah, but I just think it's a little bit different with Beyonce.
I agree.
I just do. And the only reason
Not
why...
to say Beyonce's bigger than Oprah, but in that...
It's other people there that they were protecting way heavier than they would a Beyonce, right? I mean, elected officials, people that actually run the country.
That's true.
Yeah, but Beyonce brings a certain heightened situation into the conversation.
More than a president? More than former presidents?
I mean...
More than somebody running for president?
This is how much the world doesn't care about Beyonce. She didn't answer the phone in the middle of the report. No, I'm just saying. So I thought that they just got it wrong. And sometimes that happens, right? Because you do have trusted sources that you do trust who are valid, and they can be led to believe one thing because people are over preparing for situations like this because there's so many public people.
But if she was performing, it would be more than just security concerns. It would have to be music. It would have to be a whole lot into Beyonce.
Well, the rumor
performing.
was that she was performing at Soldier Field earlier, but somebody would have saw a sound check. Here's the thing. I think that somebody just lied. And I think that there was a bunch of rumors coming from probably a bunch of credible people, and they were all just wrong.
And that's the thing, right? It's a lot of times in this, even if you are vetting stories as a journalist, and and I know for a fact that in that newsroom they work through sources because they don't ever want something like this to happen, because it does go to question your credibility, even though I think they'll be fine.
So who getting fired? Anybody getting fired because of this?
I don't think nobody's going to get fired because of this, because I'm trying to tell y'all, they had two major things in one story and only one was wrong.
Yeah.
That means wherever that first thing came from, that Steph Curry situation, whatever that source was,
so you think it was supposed to happen, but
I think
because
it
of the
was
leak,
supposed to happen.
They squashed it.
And then also too, you got to think about it. A TMZ knows how big that story is coming from a TMZ.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna play around with that. They gonna triple check, confirm. I don't know, but it does happen. We've had other mix up from TMZ. Remember they had killed Lil Wayne for a little bit.
I don't remember that.
I remember they killing Lil Wayne.
I remember them saying that Lil Wayne was in the hospital and there was a priest there I guess I don't remember them saying he died. Though.
No, he was dead for a little bit, but then they had brought him back.
Oh, they did kill him.
It was he was gone for a little bit. But again,
how does that happen?
Good sources who had in the midst of a chaotic situation like that, people just throwing things as it's happening. Like, you know, it's just
sometimes it's not
fast.
great being first. You just want to be right. Especially in that story, because
I always go to
first. What?
When you're first, you become TMZ.
Hello,
that's the truth of the matter.
But I go to TMZ because usually I know TMZ is 99% right.
This didn't change how you feel about TMZ though, did it?
No.
It didn't me either.
If you ask me, TMZ got popping when they
Michael Jackson.
When they called Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never forget that day.
Mm-hmm.
They did Michael Jackson, and then it was the DUI with what's his name? White actor. I'll look it up, but his DUI was big too.
All right. You got another story. You got time.
Oh, yeah. I do have another story. See, Beyonce didn't threw me all the way off. Now I'm over here trying to figure it out. So in other news, demure. Have you guys been seeing people post very demure, very mindful?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So that saying, which comes from like a small clip from The Nanny Named Friend, the TV show, there is a popular TikToker named Jules LeBron. And Jules LeBron put out this video talking about how they prepare for job interviews after, or how they prepare to go to work after getting the job from an interview. Let's take a listen.
See how I do my makeup for work? Very demure, very mindful. I don't look like a clown when I go to work. I don't do too much. I'm very mindful while I'm at work. A lot of you girls go to the interview looking like Marge Simpson and go to the job looking like Patty and Selma. Not demure.
So that went crazy. You had J-Lo recreating it, Serena, Glorilla, Kim K put it as a caption, Lindsay Lohan, it was everywhere. So of course something is big, the first thing people think is trademarking, because now you want to do merch, all that good stuff. Well, Jules did not submit the trademark filing first. So TMZ again broke a story that there was a guy in Washington State named Jason Bates who had actually filed for a trademark for very demure, very mindful. And at the time, they weren't sure if this was related to Jules LeBron. Come to find out it wasn't, because Jules LeBron came back online and they were crying because they felt like they missed the mark to file a trademark. And now this person about to make all this money off of a video they made, or a line that they made go back popular. So, but hopefully they can file something to try and get it not to happen.
For what?
No, he got it first.
Not if somebody had it first.
Yeah, he got it first. And it had nothing to do with that.
Trademarking is not first come, first serve, though.
But if it had nothing to do with their saying, and you said it didn't, he could trademark his own thing.
No, it does. It's the same. They trying to trademark very demure, very mindful. It's the same exact saying.
Did somebody have it first?
So he submitted his claim to trademark it, but trademarking is not first come, first serve. Envy, you know that.
So buy it from him. Buy it from them. That's the way business is.
What they are saying is that they don't have the money to do it. So we got to wrap this up.
He ain't got the money to fight
that.
that.
My problem.
All right. Well,
that
is
y'all real mean to disenfranchise this morning.
Very slow, very welfare. That's what I'm getting from all of that. That's the theme of this morning. Very slow, very welfare.
That's Jess with the Mess with Lauren LaRosa. Now, donkey today. Who you giving that donkey to?
Man, 4 after the hour, we need J.D. Vance to come to the front of the congregation. We'd like to have a word with him, please.
All right. We'll get to that next, so don't move. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up
early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.